Assalamu alaikum, family. What's good? Hope you're all having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Hump Day. It's the middle of the week. We're halfway there. I hope you all have had a blessed and wonderful day so far. Hope you had a blessed and wonderful week as well. Thus far, that is. It's Hump Day in the middle of the week. So we got 2 more days before the weekend. Today is the fifth day of Ramadan. So Ramadan Mubarak to all the believers out there. We could do this. We have to March 30th. So today is day number 5. And these few days are going by pretty fast. I don't know about how y'all feel about it, but it's been going by pretty fast. Guess when you put your mind on what you need to do for Ramadan and not focus on everything else, it just seems to just fly by. I noticed that. So, but in the event, hope you all are doing well. And the likelihood that you're having one of those days, and we know that in this life a little rain must fall. Always remember this: tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, Mr. Donald Trump, President Trump, gave his speech to Congress last night. And when he came out, the first thing he said, America is back. And it was the Republicans, you could call it was so you could say it was orchestrated, but I'm gonna get into that in a few seconds. But Republicans stood up and clapped. USA, USA, USA. And after Trump said that, America is back. And the Democrats just sat there with their arms folded like some scolded children. They're so pathetic and ridiculous. And I'm gonna touch on that here in a second. But Mr. Trump uh, said that he did more in these last 6 weeks because he's been in office. Well, now it was day 44. Yesterday, day 43. He's done more in the last 6 weeks than any president has done in 4 years or in 8 years. And one thing I can say that he's been a man of his word for those in his base, for MAGA supporters. The things he said he was going to do, he's done. He didn't say he was going to get things passed, but he said he's going to get do these executive orders and try to get things changed. So, to that effect, he has kept his word. Now he has to deal with Congress. And Congress is the majority is red now. The House is red. The Senate is red. And and Trump touted how there was a red wave across the country. They won the popular vote, the electoral college. They won the Senate. They won the Congress. And it's you can't deny it. It was just a red wave. But that's the fault of the Democrats because they were so focused on other things, particularly giving billions of dollars to that squarehead jackass Zelensky in Ukraine. That's what they were focused on. Just giving money to Ukraine. Every time they came a begging, we came a giving. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Like every time the square-headed horse's ass asked for money, that old goat Biden was giving it to him. I need to fight $1 billion. I need X amount of $1 billion. And where did it go? You're getting your ass handed to you by Russia. Your people are not supporting you. No one wants to talk about that though. No one wants to have that conversation that Zelensky's own people are not even supporting him. He's taking men off the street and kidnapping them and putting them into the army because he's losing soldiers left and right. They're getting their asses handed to him. despite all those billions of dollars that our country has given them for equipment, supposedly for this, for that. Right. Like Eddie Griffin said, it's going to buy his wife more Lamborghinis, more Porsches. That's where that money is going. But yet, you silly mofos want to sit up here and wave these little mini Ukraine flags, but you don't give a damn about we have given over $250 billion to Ukraine, this neo-Nazi loving country. We have roads that need repair, railroads, our subway systems, New York, Chicago, out here in the Bay Area, in Atlanta. Look at the bridges, the infrastructure is crumbling. The rail need to be replaced. New York City subway, it's the oldest subway system in the country. I believe it's the second oldest in the world, next to London's. But the New York City subway is over 120 years old. Those tracks are in need of repair. Those subway cars, Chicago's train system, Atlanta. I mentioned the Bay Area and elsewhere. Look at our roads, our highways out here in East Oakland, not too far from where I live. There are giant-sized moon craters. You have to go on the opposite side of the street just to avoid a pothole in many parts of East Oakland, Oakland as a whole. Our interstates. They're closing down an interstate in Detroit, in Metro Detroit, for 2 years to do repairs. 2 years they're closing it down. Buildings are crumbling. Our water supply is suffering. Our pipes. There was a pipe busted in Detroit last month, flooded a good portion, a neighborhood in Southwest Detroit. They got it fixed, but it never should have happened in the first place. Our grids are down. Our electric grids. We're gonna have blackouts. But we want to give billions of dollars, over $250 billion to Ukraine, and that's okay because they're our allies. Right. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. It's just utterly ridiculous. Just ridiculous. We want to we want to help other countries fight their beefs, fight their wars when we got issues here at home. You got homeless veterans. You have people, um, not just homeless veterans, but homeless period. But yes, veterans, people who gave their oath, who swore to defend this nation against enemies, foreign and domestic. They're sleeping in cardboard boxes. Our food supply is suffering. Trump declared tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and now Trudeau, um, the northern exposure version of Gavin Newsom, saying, "Well, we're gonna not gonna drink bourbon, and we're not gonna vacation in Florida." And then, well, fuck you. But you know what? 8 years ago, the most honorable, excuse me, 8 years ago, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that Trump was going to be the last American president. He said that 8 years ago, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he was right. Trump is the last American president because he wants to put America first. You may agree with him, you may not. Um, I don't agree with these tariffs because it's kind of, as from a business perspective, it It's driving down the stock market, but I could see where he's going with this. So I'm kind of in between with these tariffs. In between. On one hand, I could see what he's doing, but on the other hand, it from a business perspective, it's hurting the economy. It's hurting the stock market. But that's what rich men do. They destroy it, but they bring it back up. So we shall see where he's going with this. It's still early in this very early in his administration. It hasn't even been 50 days. It's been 44. So we shall see how this plays out. But like I said, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that Donald Trump is going to be the last American president. And this isn't about being a Trump supporter, supporting the Democrats. It's not about that. Vote for whomever you want to vote for. I've said it on this platform many times. You have that right. But the Democrats are in their feelings. And they're going to lose the midterm election next year. And they're going to lose in 2028 because they still haven't got their act together. Instead of pouting like little petulant children, come with a better game plan. Tell the Black community, since we swear our allegiance to y'all, tell us what you're going to do for us. Give us something for our votes. It's quid pro quo, something for something. Dr. Claude Anderson been saying that for decades. Politics is all about quid pro quo. You want something from me, I want something from you. What are you going to give me in return for my vote? Start there. Reparations would be a good place to start. Also, Trump, reparations. You're not off the hook either. But being that the majority of Black people swear their allegiance to the Blue Party, they're they're required to do something for us. And speaking of the Blue Party, what a shameful display by Representative Al Green from Houston. This dude is 77 years old. He out there acting like an old ass fool. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, had to call the Sergeant of Arms to get security to escort his ass up out of the chamber. But that was planned because the Democrats did not want to hear nothing Trump was saying. They did not want to hear it. They had their mind made up that we're gonna just uh just be a nuisance to Mr. Trump. We're gonna boo him, we're gonna heckle him. And that's what they did. And Representative Al Green, he didn't do himself any favors. He looked like an old ass fool. And speaking of old ass fools from the state of Texas, Representative Jasmine Crockett, Dallas Fort Worth area. She did a video of her dancing with her aides. They were dancing to Not Like Us. And then she did another video of her talking about Trump is on some bullshit and this and that. What has happened to the Democratic Party? Jasmine Crockett is a buffoon. It's like Real Housewives have come into the into politics now. He not like us. He not like us. He not like us. He not like us. It's just utterly ridiculous. And instead of dancing and talking about how Trump is a threat, why don't you do something for your constituents in the Dallas Fort Worth area? You know, a little 5-year-old girl and her father, G Money, Lil Ronnie, were gunned down a couple of days ago at a car wash in broad daylight in the suburb of Fort Worth. I believe that's your those are your constituents. That's your district. While you sit up here making videos talking about Trump or dancing to Not Like Us, why don't you do something for the people in your district instead of being a TikTok influencer? Why don't you do something with the job that you were hired to do? Do the job that you were served to do, that you were hired to do. You're an embarrassment. But this is what the Democratic Party has become. Black Democrats, black lawmakers in the Democratic Party, they have become the circus monkeys for the Democrats. They are the step and fetching on a Democratic plantation. They are the circus monkeys for the Democrats. They are the lackeys. And they love being on that Democratic plantation. I'm not saying that a black person should be on a Republican plantation because they have their versions too. They have their circus monkeys too. But I mean, come on. And then Trump honored a cancer survivor, a young boy, and the Democrats couldn't even clap for him. They couldn't even stand for this young boy. They sat there with their arms folded. Like, who really are the child now? Who are the children? And you can't put your differences aside to honor this little boy that's a cancer survivor. You couldn't put your differences aside. Really? This is why y'all gonna lose the midterm. This is why y'all gonna lose in 2028. Because y'all acting like some little bitches. Excuse me for saying that, but it has to be said. This is why I can't take y'all serious. I cannot take the Democratic Party seriously. I can't. Because of what they do. You lost the election. It was a red wave. Mr. Trump won the swing states. All of them. Every one of them. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. The Republicans won the Senate. They won the Congress. I mean, the House of Representatives. It was a red wave, a complete red wave. And y'all just can't handle it. And instead of going back to the drawing board, rethinking your strategy, okay, we're gonna have to come back stronger for the midterm election. We're gonna have to come back even stronger for 2028. Y'all want to sit up there and fold your arms and do dumb protests and disrupt the president, be a nuisance, do dumbass videos instead of going back to the drawing board and upping your game up. This is why you're gonna lose the midterm election next year and election in 2028, the general election in 2028. This is why. You're doing it to yourselves. So, and this is such an embarrassment. Such an embarrassment. So let's get on what Mr. Trump talked about briefly. So Mr. Trump delivered the longest joint address to Congress in history. The longest joint address in history. It was 2 hours. Trump signaled he is forging full stream ahead with this agenda, however divisive, and this is from abcnews.com. This is where I'm reading from. As he claimed a mandate from American voters. Here are the key takeaways. America is back. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. Trump opened his address by declaring to Congress and the nation, America is back. A chant of USA immediately broke out among lawmakers as Republicans rose to their feet. I mentioned that earlier. Trump quickly turned to touting the lightning speed with which he sought to enact his agenda, arguing his administration's accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I mentioned that earlier too. I mentioned how the Democrats interrupted and one got removed, and that was Representative Al Green of Texas. That old fool, old buffoon. Representative Al Green of Texas was seen out of his out of his seat and shaking his cane at Trump as he shouted, "You have no mandate to cut Medicaid." Speaker Mike Johnson was slamming his gavel to restore order to the joint session and issued a warning to members to maintain decorum. Johnson shortly after instructed Green to be removed from the chamber by the sergeant at arms after telling him to take his seat several times. I mentioned that too. The back and forth between Trump and the Democrats continued throughout the speech. At one point, Trump lashed out at Senator Elizabeth Warren, bringing back his 2018 taunt of calling her Pocahontas. Democrats held up signs that said false and Musk steals, talking about Elon Musk. Several walked out of the chamber as he was speaking. I saw that too. Trump took aim at Biden, reportedly calling former President Joe Biden, continuing to criticize him from issues at the border or with the economy. The worst president in American history. And I concur with Mr. Trump on that. Trump is only 6 weeks into his second term, but already Americans are expressing dissatisfaction with many of his policies. A 538 analyst of public opinion polls found his approval rating on actions related to healthcare, foreign policy, government funding, trade, and more to be underwater. Trump praised Elon Musk and Doge. Pocketbook issues get little attention as Trump defends tariffs, I should say. The tariffs went into effect yesterday on Canada and Mexico. I mentioned that too. Trump continued his imperial push, and he had imperial push. That's funny. And briefly addressed Ukraine. So that was the gist of the speech last night in a nutshell. Again, the last American president. And I mentioned in a video, my video was it yesterday or a couple of days ago, that Trump was not going to be swayed by Zelensky. He told Zelensky, "You don't hold the cards here. We hold the cards. We allowed you to be empowered. And if you want to go at it by yourself, you're not going to be successful, but good luck to you." And he was right on that. And so this is all the gist of it, what I mentioned. Let me go over it briefly again. The Democrats and the Democratic Party, the Democrats they interrupted. Representative Al Green got removed. He took aim at Joe Biden. He praised Elon Musk and Doge, DOGE. He defended his tariffs. He addressed Ukraine. And that's basically the gist of it. And like he said America is back. So we shall see. But like he said, the Democrats, they don't have a leg to stand on, and all they can say is Trump on some bullshit. Trump is this. What are y'all playing? What are your plans to do better, Democratic Party? And don't tell us about supporting Ukraine. I don't give a goddamn about them. I hate to sound heartless and cold-hearted, but I don't. That's their beef. Let them figure it out. Let Europe figure that out. Stop telling us about Ukraine. Stop telling us about uh, the right for people to love who they want to love. You have that right regardless. Tell us, what are you going to do better than Trump? What is your plan, Democrats? What is your plan? We have yet to hear it. We have yet to hear it. And you guys are in this pissing match with the Republicans, but you still haven't said, what are you going to do better? We still haven't heard it. Giving billions of dollars to Ukraine is not the answer. Allowing illegals to come over here and not securing the borders, that isn't the answer. Funding Planned Parenthood isn't the answer. Telling people, making legislation for the LGBTQ plus I community isn't the answer. The Democrats have yet to address the economy, which they had. They had 4 years to address this. 4 years to address this. The economy, the crisis at the border, getting us out of these proxy wars with Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Hamas. They didn't address none of this, but now they want to criticize Mr. Trump and the Republicans. They on some bullshit and do dumb videos dancing and get kicked out of the chamber of Congress, waving your cane. What are you gonna do better? You guys are making fools of yourselves. You're circus monkeys. You're performance circus monkeys. That's what y'all are. I hate to say it that way, but that's what y'all have become, because y'all haven't come with any agenda. And like I said a couple minutes ago, this is why you're going to lose the 2026 midterm election and the 2028 general election. This is why. You have no plan. You have none whatsoever. And like I said, this is not, like I said yesterday, this is not about me being a Trump supporter. This is about me being a truth supporter. Me calling a ball and a strike. The Democrats are a joke. They are pathetic. And no, I don't agree with everything that the Republicans are doing. I do not. But again, Democrats, what are you going to do to counter them? What are you going to do that's better? Because you're making yourselves look pathetic, look like buffoons. So I think that's a good place for me to land my plane. I think I said all that I'm gonna say on this. I think I made it clear as day. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button now. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Again, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. And I know I'm going to get some criticisms on doing this video. I get that. But like I always say, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. In our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, respect, and facts. Not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. So let's agree to disagree on this, y'all, especially on this topic, because I know a lot of y'all support the Democrats, and that's your right. I'm not going to make fun of you on that. A lot of you hate Mr. Trump. That's your right. Again, I'm not going to make fun of you on that. But let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable, especially on the topics such as this. Support my YouTube channel here, my future projects. It'd be greatly appreciated. Please continue to support your brother. I need your love and support. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, going on vacation, whatever the case may be, Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. We saw what happened with our sister Angie Stone, um, Gene Hackman and his wife. We just got to be safe. Got to beware. Beware and be aware. We know we all gonna return to Allah someday. We all gotta gut our day. We don't know when it is, but we know we gotta pay that. We gotta return back to Allah God. But Allah has given us the wisdom to not put ourselves in bad situations. Make the right choices. Beware and be aware of your surroundings at all times. I love y'all. Support my channel, support my projects, and I will talk to y'all soon, inshallah. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I love y'all immensely, and thank you for your support. All right, I'm out, y'all. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.